Hello, kids! Welcome back to part 3 of sculptures. I'm your teacher, Brian. Now remember, in part 1 and part 2, we talked about different material for making sculptures. We talked about stone, we talked about wood, and we talked about clay. Are there other materials we can use to make sculptures? Yes, there are. 맞아요. 있어요. One material is called metal. Metal? What is metal? Let's read. Some sculptors work with metal. They use metals such as bronze and steel. Bronze and steel are types of metal. Metal is used a lot these days. Your car, your family car, is made of metal, okay? Sometimes these sculptures have moving parts. Wow, really cool. But if you think about it, think about a robot. Maybe somebody makes a robot and puts it in front of a building and the robot moves like this. That is a sculpture made of metal with moving parts. Look at the picture. What is this man doing? He's making a sculpture. What is the sculpture of? We can see a big eye here, and we can see a beak like a bird here. We can see it is a bronze owl. Bronze is a metal that's shiny and kind of brown or yellow. It looks like gold, but it isn't the same as gold. Gold. 금, right? Gold is 금. Very expensive. 너무 비싸요, right? But bronze, 싸요. Gold, 비싸요. Bronze, 싸요. Bronze is not expensive. Gold is expensive. Of course, it's easier to make a bronze statue or sculpture than a gold sculpture. You don't need much money to make a bronze sculpture. Okay, what other materials are there? Oh, actually, let's look at another example of a metal sculpture. This is a sculpture made of steel. Steel. And what is it? It looks like a flower, doesn't it? Oh, 너무 재밌어요. This flower has petals. The petals open in the morning. They close at night. Wow, that's really cool. That means the petals, these are the petals of the flower. See this big piece here? This piece moves. All of these pieces are the petals. They move. They close at night and open in the morning. That's crazy. That's really, really cool. It's just like a real flower. A real flower will open its petals in the morning, and at night it goes to sleep. It closes its petals at night. So an artist, a sculptor, made this sculpture of a flower using steel, and it has moving parts. Wow, really cool. Will you become a sculptor? Can you think of some cool sculpture like this that you can make? That's really cool. Think about it. Let's look at other material. Ice and snow. You can use ice and snow to make a sculpture? Yes, you can. Some sculptors work with ice. They chisel the ice. Other sculptors work with snow. These sculptures do not last long. Why? Okay, let's take a look at the picture. What is this man doing? He is making a sculpture from ice. He is using ice sculpture. What is it a sculpture of? Let's look. It looks like a butterfly. Here is the body, and here are the wings. See, what tool is he using? What is this tool? It's a chisel. So he's also using a chisel to make an ice sculpture. The question is, why? Why do these sculptures not last long? These sculptures do not last long. Why? They're made of ice. What happens to ice? If it gets warm, the ice will melt. Oh no, that's too bad. Melt. So the ice will turn into water and it will slowly fall down. Well, that's too bad. It takes a long time, hard work to make an ice sculpture. But they're very beautiful. So many people make ice sculptures in the winter. But in the springtime, it gets warm and the ice sculptures melt. Bye-bye, ice sculpture. Too bad. Okay. Wow! Look at this sculpture. What do you think it's made of? It's made of snow. It is a snow sculpture. That's amazing. Look at the detail. What is the sculpture of? It's a sculpture of a pagoda and a lion in front of it. That's really amazing. How long do you think this sculpture will last? Will it last for thousands of years? No, too bad. It won't last very long. Maybe several weeks, maybe a month or 2 months. But when spring comes, this sculpture will melt. Too bad. It's a lot of work made this sculpture. Okay, so this is a snow sculpture. We can also see sculptures made of sand. Where do we find sand? Where are these kids? These kids are at the beach. Padaeso, right? They're at the beach. At the beach, you can find a lot of sand. Let's read together. Sand sculptures are fun to make. Sometimes there are sand sculptures contests. Sand sculptures contests. These sculptures do not last long. Why? Okay, so sand sculptures are fun to make. Maybe you made a sand sculpture, haven't you? When you go to the beach, make a sculpture from sand. You can make a castle or some shape in the sand. Sometimes you can see turtles, right? Or some animals or castles. Sand castles are very common. You can make a sand castle. It's fun. Sometimes there are contests to see who can make the best sand sculpture. That's a contest. And people say, oh, that's the best. That's the winner of the contest. This sculpture is the best. Maybe your sculpture will be the best. But these sculptures do not last long. Chane paseo, where did we see that? Ice sculptures we saw before. Ice sculptures melt. Well, do sand sculptures melt? No. But sand sculptures also do not last long. Why? They don't melt, But what happens? Well, at the beach, the water comes up and the water goes down. So what happens maybe at night? The water will come up and will wash the sand away. Or the sand is not very strong. Other people might come by and knock the sand down. Oh, too bad. Or the wind, right? Palam. If the wind is very strong, it will also knock the sculpture down. Sand is not strong. So water can destroy it. People walking by can destroy it. Wind can destroy it. Sand sculptures do not last very long. Wow, that's amazing. Look how big this is. Here is a person. It's a woman, an adult woman. She's just this high. This is an amazing sand castle. Why do you think she is making this sand castle? Do you think she is in a contest? Probably. She is probably in a sand sculpture contest, and I hope she wins. Look at this sculpture. It's really amazing. How many things do you see here? We see many different shapes. There's a star. It looks like a snowflake. There are doors, stairs. Look, there are people's faces. Here's one. Here's another one. This guy looks funny, right? 재밌어요. That's really amazing. Oh, here's an old guy with the beard, like Gandalf, the wizard, right? So this is really amazing. It took a long time to make this sand sculpture. Too bad it won't last long. But we can see it now, we can take pictures, and we can remember it. So, there are many kinds of sculptures. We talked about stone sculptures, we talked about wood sculptures, we talked about clay sculptures. We also looked at different materials: metal, ice, snow, sand. Many different materials are used to make sculptures. Can I give you a quiz? Let me see. What kind of sculptures last for thousands of years? Do you know? Stone, right. Stone sculptures last for thousands of years. Question 2. What sculptures can you paint? What sculptures can you paint? Do you remember? Wood. 맞아요. Wood sculptures. You can paint wood sculptures. Okay? Question 3. 마지막 질문이. Last question. Which sculptures have moving parts? Which sculptures have moving parts? Do you remember? Metal. Steel sculpture, metal sculpture is the answer. So, steel sculptures or metal sculptures can have moving parts. Wow, there's so many different kinds of sculptures. I'm really interested. Are you interested in sculptures? Maybe one day you will be a sculptor. And even if you're not a sculptor, I hope someday you make a sculpture at the beach out of sand. It's fun. Okay, well, that finishes our lesson for today. We'll see you next time, everybody. Take care. Goodbye.